The week from hell for environmental policy. Unless stopped by the courts, each of these proposed rollbacks will do, quote, irreparable harm to our nation's water quality, endangered species, and marine ecosystems. Hey gang, James Martin here, running to unseat Brian Mast in Florida's 21st Congressional District. So last week, the EPA proposed significantly scaling back the Clean Water Act by more narrowly defining, quote, the waters of the United States, which would include many wetlands and streams here in Florida from federal protections. And that's about 85% of the nation's wetlands. There were two other environmentally regressive announcements last week, including changes to the Endangered Species Act and the announcement of the sale of billions of acres of offshore federal oil leases. But we're going to talk about the proposed repeal to the clean water rules because my congressman, Brian Mast, yes, noted clean water advocate Brian Mast, has cheered this development on, saying, quote, Florida knows Florida best. And there are three big problems with that. One, these rules were enacted because states and local municipalities were not able to adequately address clean water issues, and it took rivers catching on fire in the 1970s to do something about it. James, you're being hyperbolic. We know the Treasure Coast cares about clean water. Well, what if I told you that there are proposed bills in the Florida legislature right now that prevent local municipalities from adopting clean water rules that preempt state law? Home rule sounds like a terrific talking point, and I think there are a lot of elements to like about the idea at an academic level. But here's the thing. Brian Mast has co-sponsored several bills where he takes the opposite view. Leads inquiring minds to wonder why you would change your position on preempting state rights when it comes to things like energy policy or reproductive freedoms, but have an opposite view on regulating wetlands. I'm sure it has nothing to do with donors. Bottom line, defanging an already weak EPA is not the solution to fixing the Treasure Coast's clean water crisis, and we certainly shouldn't be cheering it on. Look, my path to public service was a direct result of a love for the Treasure Coast waters. My message to those who care about this issue is simple. We shouldn't have to choose between a representative who uses his platform to elevate clean water issues and then quietly hollows out bedrock environmental policy. We can do both, and we can do better.